Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine while walking through ancient ruins? Imagine centuries of history whispering secrets in the wind, tales of spirits that linger long after they've gone. Ireland, a land steeped in myth and legend, is home to some of the most chilling paranormal stories ever told, passed down through generations. These aren't just spooky campfire tales. They are woven into the very fabric of Irish history, blurring the line between the world we know and the one that lies just beyond the veil. Tonight, we journey into the heart of the Emerald Isle to uncover the ghosts of its past. Let's start our journey at one of Ireland's most famously haunted locations, Leap Castle. This fortress has a bloody and brutal history, earning it the title of the most haunted castle in the world. Its story is filled with betrayal and murder. But one event stands out: the massacre in what is now called the Bloody Chapel. In the 16th century, a fierce rivalry between two brothers of the O'Carroll clan came to a horrifying end. One brother, a priest, was holding mass in the chapel when his warrior brother stormed in and plunged a sword into his heart right in front of their family. The priest fell upon the altar and died, cursing the castle with his last breath. His spirit is said to still roam the chapel, forever trapped in his final, agonizing moments. But he's not alone. Workers in the 1920s made a truly gruesome discovery. Behind a wall in the Bloody Chapel, they found a hidden dungeon, an oubliette. The floor was covered in wooden spikes, and piled on top were the skeletal remains of over 150 people. It's believed that unsuspecting guests of the O'Carrolls were dropped through a trapdoor to their deaths below. The sheer volume of suffering in that small space is unimaginable, and from the suffering, a terrifying entity is said to have been born. It's known only as the Elemental, a grotesque, hunched creature about the size of a sheep, with a decaying face and the smell of sulfur and death. It's not a human ghost, but something much older and more malevolent, drawn to the castle's violent energy. Witnesses have reported being overcome with terror and nausea in its presence. The Elemental of Leap Castle serves as a terrifying reminder that some places are soaked in so much pain, they birth their own horrors. Moving from a fortress of terror to the ghostly corridors of a grand estate, we arrive at Loftus Hall. Its story is one of Ireland's most famous, a tale of a mysterious stranger and a game of cards that went horribly wrong. In the mid-18th century, during a fierce storm, a ship was forced to dock near the Loftus estate on the Hook Peninsula. A handsome young stranger from the ship sought shelter at the hall and was welcomed by the Tottenham family who were living there at the time. He stayed for several weeks, and the young lady in Tottenham became quite enchanted with him. One night, as the family and their guests played cards and dropped a card, as she bent down to retrieve it, she saw something that made her blood run cold. Beneath the table, the charming stranger didn't have human feet. He had cloven hooves. Realizing he'd been discovered, the stranger shot through the roof in a ball of fire, leaving behind a gaping hole and the distinct smell of brimstone. The devil himself, it was said, had been their guest. The shock was too much for Lady Anne. She descended into madness, locked away by her family in her favorite room, the tapestry room, until her death a few years later. They say she refused to eat and would sit for hours, knees tucked to her chin, staring at the spot where the stranger had vanished. Her spirit is said to haunt Loftus Hall to this day, a sad, lonely figure forever searching for her demonic lover. Visitors and staff have reported sudden, inexplicable drops in temperature, doors slamming shut, and the ghostly figure of a woman in a silken dress gliding through the hallways. The hole the devil left in the roof could supposedly never be properly repaired, a permanent scar on the house. The story of Loftus Hall is a chilling cautionary tale about the dangers of welcoming strangers and the darkness that can lie beneath a charming facade. Our next tale takes us to the windswept coast of County Antrim, to the magnificent ruins of Dunluce Castle, perched precariously on a cliff edge. This castle has a tragic story that echoes with the crashing waves below. In the 17th century, the castle was home to the MacDonald clan. The lady of the house, Maeve Rowe, was known for her pride and her love of lavish parties. One fateful night in 1639, During a wild storm, a huge section of the castle's kitchens, along with the cooks and servants inside, collapsed and plunged into the churning sea below. Only a young kitchen boy, who was sitting in a corner away from the main kitchen area, survived. He watched in horror as his friends and colleagues were swallowed by the waves. It's said that on stormy nights, you can still hear the screams of the unfortunate souls who perished at night, carried on the wind. Their cries are a ghostly chorus mingling with the roar of the ocean. But they are not the only spirits at Dunluce. The castle is also haunted by the White Lady, believed to be the spirit of Mevro herself. Her ghost is often seen staring out to sea from one of the castle's towers, eternally mourning the loss of her staff and the part of her home that was stolen by the waves. Some say she is filled with guilt, while others believe she is simply waiting for a party that will never happen. Her sorrowful apparition is a constant presence, a white figure against the dark, dramatic backdrop of the Irish coast, a poignant symbol of a tragedy that time cannot erase. From castles and manors, we now travel to the city of Dublin, to a place where justice was once served, and where spirits now seek their own form of it, Kilmainham Gaol. This former prison is one of the most important historical sites in Ireland, but it's also one of its most paranormally active. From 1796 to 1924, it housed thousands of men, women, and even children, many for petty crimes, others for their role in the fight for Irish independence. The conditions were horrific, and the sense of despair, anger, and sorrow from its inmates still clings to the cold stone walls. The leaders of the 1916 Easter Rising were executed in the stonebreaker's yard here, and their defiant energy is said to linger. Visitors and staff have reported a wide range of paranormal phenomena. Disembodied voices are heard whispering in empty cells, shadowy figures are seen walking the long, echoing corridors, and the sound of unseen children crying has been reported in the West Wing, where the youngest prisoners were held. One of the most active areas is the chapel. During restoration work, workers reported being pushed by unseen forces, and their tools would mysteriously go missing only to reappear in different locations. Lights are known to turn on and off by themselves, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched is common. It's as if the prisoners of Kilmainham Gaol never truly left. Their stories, their struggles, and their spirits are an indelible part of the building, making it not just a museum, but a living memorial to a difficult and painful chapter of Irish history. Our final story isn't about a single place, but about a terrifying harbinger of death that roams the entire island, the Banshee. In Irish folklore, the Banshee is a female spirit whose mournful cry, or keening, foretells the death of a member of one of Ireland's ancient families. She isn't an evil entity, rather, she is a protector, a spiritual guardian who warns the family of an impending loss so they can prepare. But her appearance and her cry are utterly terrifying. She can appear in several forms, as a beautiful young woman with eyes red from weeping, as a stately matron, or as a withered old hag. Her hair can be long and flowing, sometimes silver, sometimes red, and she often wears a gray cloak or a white shroud. To hear the Banshee's wail is a chilling experience that is said to freeze the blood. It's described as a sound that is part woman's shriek, part animal's cry, and part wind's howl. Countless stories have been passed down through generations of families hearing the cry outside their window, only to receive news of a loved one's passing shortly after. Some people have claimed to see her, a lone figure combing her long hair with a silver comb by a river or under a tree, her face a mask of sorrow. The legend of the Banshee is deeply ingrained in the Irish psyche, a powerful, enduring connection to the ancient, mystical roots of the land, reminding everyone that in Ireland, the spirit world is never very far away. From the elemental of Leap Castle to the wail of the Banshee, these stories are more than just ghost tales. They are a part of Ireland's soul, a testament to its turbulent history and its deep-rooted connection to the supernatural. Can you think of any other legends where a spirit isn't meant to be evil, but is actually a warning sign for families? The history of the Emerald Isle is written not just in books, but in the whispers of its haunted halls and the cries carried on its winds. If you've enjoyed this journey into Ireland's paranormal past, please hit the like button and subscribe for more explorations into the world's most fascinating and mysterious stories. Thanks for watching, and may your nights be peaceful.